Welcome to Diva Dialogue. I'm your host, Coach Deb. I'm also your coach, host Deb. Depends on how you look at it, huh? But welcome. I'm really glad that you're here today. This is Monday. Wow, it's Monday, and it's August, and it's almost mid-August. Wow, where did the summer go? I'm telling you, it just kind of vanished, didn't it? But the flowers and all the colors I'm enjoying so much. I just really love this time of year. It's just so beautiful, and it's like a feast for your eyes every place that you look. Our grass is so green and rich. The garden is so full of vegetables, and fruits are getting ripe on trees. This is like a bountiful time of year. And I'm really excited today because we have a lady that I've been friends with on Facebook for quite a while. She lives where I used to live in the Port Clinton, Lakeside, Marblehead area. And she's doing wonderful things down there, and she's going to be calling in. And I will let her introduce herself when she calls in because I don't want to ruin it. But today, I just finished up with a coaching client, and something that she said was so brilliant that I would like to share that with you before Nora Knople calls in. I said, what is different in your life now? What is new? And she said that now I enjoy every moment of every day. And that's how she wakes up in the morning. That's how everybody should wake up in the morning. So grateful that we live in a free country, that we live in a place that is safe and warm, and so appreciative of everything that's going on in our lives. Because when you come from a place of gratitude, you get more to be grateful for. So that's my little words of wisdom to start off this week, this Monday, and set your intention to be more grateful this week for whatever is around you, whatever lessons come your way, and every bite of food you take and breath of air that you breathe, because there is just so much to be grateful for. And I am very grateful to welcome my guest, Nora. Welcome to the Diva Dialogue, Nora.
Well, thank you for having me today, Deb. It's a pleasure.
Yes, I'm so excited to get to know more about you and share you with our audience, because you sound like a very fascinating person. Will you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to where you are right now?
Well, certainly. As you mentioned, my name is Nora Knople. I am the owner of Haven Hypnosis and Wellness, LLC, and I'm based out of Norwalk, Ohio. I am a certified hypnotist through IMDHA and IACP, and I just enjoy helping people. My business has brought me a lot of satisfaction, and I have a couple of programs that I've talked to Deb about over the course of our time knowing each other. I'm the creator of Paint Your Way Out, which is a meditation painting workshop that I do around the country. And I just have a lot of fun with it. And the other one I have is Emotional Detox Education, which is a 8-week program that I teach that teaches people how to find their true authenticity.
I love it. I love it so much. What made you want to do this kind of work?
back in 1996, I was in a much different place than I am today, and I was really struggling to try to find my true self, and I didn't really know how to define that. And I knew that I was different. I knew that I wasn't like anybody else, and so I was really kind of searching for answers on how to come about owning who I was. And along that journey, I came across my esteemed mentor, the late Retha Martin, and she was a lady here not too far from my home who had a hypnosis school, and it just kind of fascinated me. And so I started taking a couple of her courses and just kind of learning about it, and I was just really drawn to the idea of how we are really in control of our own mind and our own healing. And I thought, I just really want to know more about that. So that's really kind of how it came to be. And I just kind of grew into it, and I've been blessed with a series of mentors along the way to help me kind of grow my business and grow myself.
I love it. I love so much everything that you said, because it's so relevant to, that was, 12 years ago, 22 years ago.
No, 96, so 22 years ago. And it is so relevant. And I was listening just before I came on the air about your segment about having that attitude for gratitude, and it's so true. It's so relevant even 22 years ago to today, everything I said, and I have that attitude for gratitude for everybody who's taught me something, good or bad, along my journey. I'm really blessed.
Very, very good. And it's funny because some of the people that we had to learn lessons from, we were mad. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But when you look back, you think, wow, I really learned a lot from that experience. I had one of my friends tell me that she was praying that she would be more patient. And that year, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong.
Yes. I've heard that from so many people. I went in some workshops that I used to teach when I was a life skills educator. I used to kind of preach that to my students, have more patience. And I came to learn along the way that's, while it is a virtue that we all try to hold on to, I think if we just kind of learn to let go and let God,
right,
patience just comes.
Right, that's right. Yeah, it's funny. I don't know. Life is so funny, but if sometimes it throws us a curveball and we're totally taken aback by what just happened. And yet if you look at it from the other side of the bridge, you look back and think, man, that's exactly what I needed to learn. Although going through it isn't always pleasant. And your programs sound like it really helps people get a hold of what they believe in, maybe, or maybe work through some problems. What are the purposes of your programs?
Yeah, you really hit on it right there. Especially paint your way out. It's a way to be able to tie into those emotions you're feeling, whether they're positive or negative. I'm a firm believer that you can have too much of either. You know what I mean? Like, you can be, there's such a thing as being too happy, because then you lose focus of things, I think. And so what Paint Your Way Out does is it helps balance those emotions. And so I use a script that's tied to the chakra system, because I think that's the easiest way to explain to people your emotions and tie a color to it, if that makes sense. And so they go through this meditation, and they kind of hone into what they're feeling, good and bad, whatever might come up in the meditation, and they visualize those colors attached to the emotion. And at the end, they meditate for about 20, 25 minutes, and then they paint for an hour and a half the things that they saw in their painting. And what it does is it helps them move through those emotions and find balance. And they leave with a one-of-a-kind painting that helps inspire them.
Love that so much. we're going to have to get together and do something, because that's just beautiful. I want to do it. It sounds so cathartic. Yes, I'm thinking so. So tell us about your other program.
So the other workshop is called Emotional Detox Education. And it kind of came about, I read this book by the wonderful Iyanla Vanzant. I know a lot of people are familiar with her.
Oh, I love her, yes.
Yeah. And she has a wonderful book called One Day My Soul Just Opened Up.
Yes, I love that book.
Yes, it just changed a lot of things for me. And so I sat down and I started to write points that really jumped out at me about this from this book. And what my purpose in doing that was, at the time I was a life skills educator at a homeless shelter here in town. And I didn't really get to see those women for the full 40 weeks that the book covers. So I needed a way to condense those ideas and get them to them in a shorter period of time. And so what I've done is kind of take that same idea, but kind of hone it into them more personally and try to live the best life they can, to kind of rid themselves of the skeletons in their closet, their half-truths, those things that they tell themselves is true, but it's because they're hiding them from the reality. And so then we work to journal through those things. And at the end of the 8 weeks, then we have like a incineration ceremony where we burn all those half-truths. And then we wash our hands to never muddy ourselves in the ashes of the past again and move on from there.
I love it. I love it. That's beautiful. And
Thank you.
And we are so like-minded. That book changed a lot of things in my life, and I cried, and it really made me look at my life differently. It's so funny that you mentioned that particular book. We are supposed to be having this conversation, no doubt. In fact, I'm kind of surprised it's taken this long. So, but perfect timing, right? So,
right.
One of the things I think, obviously you believe in the law of attraction and in allowing, because you've already used some words that go along with those kind of understandings and belief system. Mm-hmm. And it cracks me up because when you said that about you can be too happy, because then you forget what true happiness is if you don't have contrast.
Absolutely.
So I totally agree with that too. So when you have ups and downs, it's part of the flow. That's just how it is. No river is completely smooth. There's always going to be rapids and rocks, and so just assume that they're going to be there.
Right. And the turbulence in the water is what connects us to that change, and that's important for us to grow as human beings.
Exactly. Or we would just be on lazy river all day. And what fun would that be?
Exactly. That would get boring.
Right. That's absolutely right. So, and it's funny because when you reach like a certain level of self knowledge, or I don't know what, mindfulness maybe, awareness, mm-hmm. all those things, all of a sudden you notice more, your eyes are wide open, you're more willing to allow, and the people that come into your life are just amazing. Explain that phenomenon.
It's a funny thing because I think it comes to people in waves. Some people think, it comes at a certain age. I'm 46, and I can't tell you when it began for me, but I think it's a constant thing